Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. XRP/USD pair added to Binance.US app as XRP's liquidity increases. Now, this should bode quite well for future, and speculation, fine, future usage of XRP as a bridge currency with Ripple's on-demand liquidity. And to me, it's just a matter of time. We've already seen CZ, he announced, and I'm going to briefly mention the parts of a story on that as well. CZ, the founder and CEO of Binance, has cited in the past that they absolutely intend to utilize on-demand liquidity. It's just a matter of time. Of course, corridors have to be built out, and so I think that they're kind of waiting for there to be more of a exponential increase in the value of of RippleNet, just on the whole, including on-demand liquidity, and that's fine. I don't have any real beef with that. It's getting built out here, so for me that's perfectly fine. So I want to run through this. I've also got a story from Bitcoinist.com titled "Here's How Ripple Will Power Remittances to the Philippines." But before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, but don't smash it. Only dorks smash the XRP. Only dorks smash the like button, and you're not a dork. You're a super cool guy. Go on, brush your shoulder off. And also, go ahead and treat yourself, girl, by subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel, which is, as a matter of fact, the Moon Lamboist channel on all of the YouTubes. So let's go ahead and dig in here. A short while ago, Binance.US spread the word on Twitter that it has added the XRP/USD pair to its mobile trading app. And you can see there's the tweet mentioning as much on your screen right there. Earlier, the community was discussing unconfirmed data that Binance was trialing XRP on-demand liquidity flows. And I don't want to run through this article, but I did want to mention this just in case you're not caught up to speed here. Happy to set the table properly here. But there's an article titled "XRP on-demand liquidity flows trialed by Binance?" Community assumes so, and this is from January 31st this year. And I don't want to go through the whole story, but I do want to read this tweet included in the article from XRP community member Eric Dadoon. And he wrote this: "Interesting. Binance starting to pop up in XRP on-demand liquidity flows. Too early to confirm, but this has been an obvious partnership to speculate about, considering the fiat reach of Binance and the expansion needs of Ripple." And so he wrote, "Perhaps it's time for #careful what you wish for." And so, and again, to me, CZ's already announced this is going to happen. It really is just a matter of time right here. And so this was a little bit of reasonable speculation. I think it's perfectly reasonable if you've got data to think, okay, what could this potentially mean? And it's just fun to talk through that type of thing here. It's not, as long as stuff isn't from a hypey nature, I'm all about reasonable speculation here. Anyway, so let's get back to this first piece now. And it continues, "The Twitter user @Tenatoshi, who allegedly set up the XRP liquidity index on Twitter, reported that Binance.US made pilot payments in XRP to the Mexican exchange Bitso and to the Japanese Bitbank. At the moment, several XRP on-demand liquidity corridors already exist. To Mexico, the Philippines, Australia, and a few more. Another listing of Ripple's XRP, should just write XRP, damn it, was reported earlier this week. The UK-based crypto exchange Luno added the third most valuable cryptocurrency running on the XRP ledger. Prior to that, the exchange had conducted a survey among the 3 million of its users for a year, and XRP was added as a result of the poll there. And so, certainly an XRP/USD pair makes all the sense in the world, including on the mobile app, especially if we're talking about increasing liquidity, because understand, the reason that all of this is possible, these transactions are possible, utilizing XRP as a bridge currency, is because people are buying and selling XRP because people want to. And people want to speculate on that based on the XRP ecosystem, and a big part of that is that we know businesses need XRP to be used as part of this new business model to cut out middlemen, to make transferring money across borders from one fiat currency to another substantially more efficient and less costly by quite a large margin, And so that's the reason all this happens. So as a result of this, it's so funny because he always go back to the chicken and egg. Like, how do you get this thing in motion? And it happened. I don't want to rehash that in this video, but it's neat that it has. But it seems kind of cyclical in that sense. But But the truth is that, yeah, absolutely, people are going to continue to speculate, and as a result, increased liquidity will occur, especially when you add pairs like this. And then, as more competitors come in to compete against other remittance companies and ultimately banks utilizing on-demand liquidity, it'll be great that there is this level of liquidity available for these transactions to occur. Because understand that if nobody's buying and selling XRP on these exchanges, which are the liquidity pools, you can't use on-demand liquidity. You know, it's not that because people are want to use on-demand liquidity that the price of XRP rises. It's that because people in the XRP community, or just speculators who don't consider themselves to be part of the community, because they're buying and selling, that makes the transfer of XRP as a bridge currency possible on RippleNet utilizing on-demand liquidity there. All right, next, let's go ahead and hop into this piece from Bitcoinist.com, and it's titled, "Here's How Ripple Will Power Remittances to the Philippines." Now, the top part of it, it's content that I already covered in a previous video, and I don't really want to run through, but I will mention what it is. More so, the reason I wanted to jump through this is because they got really Bitcoiny on us here and just said some stuff that doesn't make sense. And when I see that, I'll tell you what, it really grinds my gears, and I've got to do something about it, damn it. Because you know what? Not all heroes wear capes. That's Moon Lambo for you. So anyway, Rack Bank expands remittance services through Ripple, a BDO partnership. And I'll just mention this real briefly and get to the part I really want to talk about. Only because, again, if I had not covered this, I would just run through the whole thing here. But Rack Bank joined BDO, a full-service bank in the Philippines, to extend its activity in the region. The Dubai-based institution already has a footprint in the country and is part of the RippleNet ecosystem. Through the Rack Bank, through the Rack Money Transfer Service, the bank aims to extend fast, secure, frictionless, and low-cost payments to any bank account in the Philippines. Gaining access to a local bank also solves the last-mile problem of many transfers there. And so it's just another development within the ecosystem of RippleNet, and that's fantastic. But then they have this subheading here, and again, it's Bitcoinist.com, so it's like, what do you expect? But it reads as follows. Use cases for XRP asset remain limited. And I was like, there we go. That's what I was looking for. And anytime I see a Bitcoinist.com article about Ripple and XRP, I just want to see how far down I have to scroll before it gets a little trolly. And the answer is about halfway on this particular article. Just scroll about halfway and you're good. So here's what they wrote. However, after writing, by the way, by and large positive, and I think it was fairly covered at the top, so I don't really have any notable beef with how they covered the top portion of the story. Anyway. But then they wrote, however, the potential usage of RippleNet has not generated significant demand for XRP. You ever notice that when they're talking about Ripple, the company, they talk about, oh yeah, it's great for banks in terms of the messaging, this or that, but XRP, it's not really getting used a whole lot. And what are they actually comparing it to? Because no other cryptocurrency is being used for this service. And also consider this. As awesome as Ripple is doing, if you're going to say that XRP being adopted by dozens of entities utilizing on-demand liquidity, if that's not a big deal, then why is it the case that you believe that the other customers not yet utilizing XRP, why is that a big deal to you? Why is that something to say is, hey, positive thumbs up? Because the truth of the matter is that there are about 11,000 banks or so in the SWIFT system, and we're talking about over 300 customers on RippleNet. Shouldn't you be shredding both aspects of this? No. Well, I mean, you shouldn't be shredding any of it. But the reason you're not, I know what you're doing, Mr. Bitcoin Maxi Troll. All of you that do this, you say, oh, yes, the messaging portion, if you even understand it to that degree. That's all good, but the XRP part, no, it's not getting adopted. Well, that's because the part of the cryptocurrency not being used, that's what's most important to your maximalist narrative. That's why. That's exactly why. As far as the rest of the companies on RippleNet, oh yeah, hey, well, I understand you're in the legacy financial system. Of course you're competing against SWIFT, a better messaging system, blah, 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 blah. Okay, super duper, Mr. Troll Guy. But look, your narrative is bunk. It's completely bogus here. And if the adoption of a few dozen entities utilizing XRP, because as a percent, understand that's a fraction of a percent of entities that could be utilizing Nostra Vostra accounts for settlement, and 300, although substantially larger numerically than a few dozen utilizing XRP, but a few hundred customers on RippleNet, that's a fraction of a percent of the entities that are currently utilizing Swift. So you should be shredding both, but you're not. You just want to pick on the cryptocurrency specifically because that's the prime target for you. I know how you roll here. And then the piece continues. The asset has hovered around 23 cents after failing to break the 30-cent barrier. Extreme predictions for XRP assume a use case in which banks utilize the asset for remittances and transfers, raising its price. For now, XRP has only managed to achieve speculative trading, with volumes picking up to double their usual level in early 2020. But here's the thing, when you say only speculative trading, what was I just saying a few minutes ago? I was explaining how this all works. The speculative trading is what fuels this all, and you don't know that, as if you're writing that's alt. You don't understand how the ecosystem works. The speculative trading is what makes this happen. It's humans deciding what the price is of XRP based on real-world adoption or whatever else they want to consider when buying and selling. That's it. Humans will always decide. There's never some sort of computer system out there that says this will now be the price of XRP, because we have all sorts of companies that want to move money utilizing on-demand liquidity through these remittance companies. That's not how this works. And apparently, you're illustrating that you don't know that. Anyway, and then they write, XRP is still considered a bid for potentially significant appreciation in the future. Oh, that's nice of you to say. Thank you, Bitcoinist.com. You're a sweetheart. Oh, Lord. Then they write, at the same time, the influence of Ripple Inc. grows as the San Francisco-based company envisions its initial public offering. Right? Isn't that what they meant? And keeps adding both niche and larger banks to its network. The actual usage of on-demand liquidity is also limited, as banks still use a mix of traditional and innovative methods for money transfers. Okay, that's a reasonable statement. That one actually is. Why are you including this in an article that has to do, according to the headline, about remittances into the Philippines? Like, you're taking what is absolutely positive news and then doing what you Bitcoin trolls do and just throwing a bunch of slop right into this article. Thank you, Bitcoinist.com. Oh, gotta love this crypto media here. Oh, well, I guess I can wrap it up there. That's pretty much the gist of it. It's just, I'll tell you, when I see this stuff, it really burns my biscuits, and I gotta do something about it, damn it. And I have, so I feel good. I can breathe easy now. That's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!